So this is big. 51 religions, each represented by one AI custom nation. I really wonder who's going to come out on top here. Now, I was actually able to include twice as many religions as I did in my first religious war campaign. You can find a link to that in the description of this video in case you haven't checked it out yet. Now, I was able to do that by using a CK2 converted save. So in addition to the religions we know from EU4, like Catholic and Orthodox, we now also have the Hellenic faith, we have the Church of Zone, we have Iconoclasts, the Lollards, Fraticelli, and all kinds of other things. So in total 51 religions, twice as many as I did have in my last campaign, and that's gonna make things incredibly interesting. Now, of course, I had to change up the starting locations as well as the starting size of our nations, but we'll go over that in a second. Now, I just want to say some general things about balancing. I made sure that we start off in a flat map, so each province should have 11 development. The only exception is Constantinople, which for some reason has twice as much development as the other provinces in the world. This is a bug. This was not intended. I don't really know what I can do about this. But at the same time, they also have the wrong culture and the wrong religion in that province. So I think it's fine. It's not gonna, you know, affect the world in the grand scheme of things. So we'll just leave that there. But institutions are a big thing, and they are obviously heavily favoring European nations. And we already saw that in the last religious war campaign, that Europeans are incredibly overpowered, or becoming overpowered as the time goes on, due to the centers of trade, the end nodes being in Europe. So trade and institutions now favoring religions starting off in Europe is probably not a good idea, because that's, you know, not very representative. So therefore, I decided to balance things out in the beginning here. So first of all, we're starting off in 1550. Now what that means is that some of the more difficult to acquire, the institutions that are more difficult to acquire, such as the Renaissance, the colonialism, as well as the printing press, are already present all across the globe. So we have them here in Arabia, we have them in Asia, in Japan, we even have them in North and South America. So that's the first thing. In order to balance the Europeans, they're not going to have that big of an advantage. As I said, institutions will still favor the Europeans, but I think it's not going to matter as much. I also made sure that European nations, such as the Protestant faith right here, they only start off with one province and the lowest government rank possible. I have a couple of groups. So for example, the Orthodox, I think I put in the first group as well. And then, well, religions such as the Bogomilists, who do not start off with a center of trade, they are actually in the second group. So they still only have one province, but they at least have a higher government rank. And this way I tried to somewhat balance the nations. As you can see, the nations here in Arabia and Persia, they already start off with 3 provinces, and then the nations that are further away, like the Tengri or the Confucians, they actually start off with 5 provinces. I'll leave the exact, I guess, balancing groups in the description of this video in case you're interested, but I might also bring it up later on. So yeah, this is what I wanted to talk about in terms of balancing, and I think we can actually go ahead right now. So let's go forward a little bit. And in the beginning here, we will obviously see a whole lot of colonization, because this is a custom setup, so each nation already starts off with one colonist right off the bat. And then I also made sure to give the same ideas to every single nation, and they start off basically with 2 colonists as well as plus 20 global settler increase. So we should really see a lot of colonization here in the beginning. However, this area in particular, this one right here, the Mesopotamia area, is also going to feature the first wars. It kind of, in my test runs so far, this was kind of the spot like in the Hunger Games, when all the people, when the Hunger Games just start and all of the tributes are standing on their little platforms, and then it just, bam, clash, and a bunch of people die. So we'll see a lot of religions actually die off, well, not a lot of religions, but some religions die off right in the first episode right here. I don't really want to spoil too much, but that's at least what I've seen in my test runs so far. So we should keep an eye on this. But yeah, I guess what we could also do is actually check out the religious idea, or the national ideas of each nation. Is there already a war here? I think there is already a war. Yes, the Massalian faith fighting against the Menicians, and they're being absolutely obliterated. Let's actually quickly stop here and let's have a look before they die off, because that would be obviously quite terrible to have them die without actually looking at them. Now, as you can see right here, each nation has the same government. They have different government ranks, as I said, but they have the same government, a theocracy. I just thought that makes a lot of sense, and therefore each of their rulers are zealot as well as pious right from the beginning, and the heirs are zealot as well. Now, as for ideas, I already mentioned that we have the 2 extra colonists as well as the global settler increase. We have extra missionary strength and missionaries, and then I decided to kind of just make the eye a little bit stronger. So I gave the manpower recovery, discipline, morale, tolerance of true faith, as well as religious unity, and in the end I just put national tax there because I didn't really know what to do there. That's basically just the filler. The idea groups that you can see right here, they are... they've been chosen by the AI, but they are the same for every nation in the game right now. So every nation starts off with a fully fleshed out quantity ideas. Each nation has the first 2 ideas unlocked of the defensive tree, and they have also started with administrative, but they usually don't pick anything. So yeah, I think I'm actually gonna leave this this nation right here because it's gonna get destroyed very soon here. Yeah, as you can see, the Menicians have just racked these guys. Massalians are dead. Actually, no, that's not true. The Massalians usually tend to take over Hormuz as well as Erdane, so they're still alive, but they have not a single regular province. They only have colonies, nothing else. They only have colonies, so it's gonna be really rough for them to start off here, but I believe in them. I think they can do a good job. Now, one more thing that I want to show you here is Europe. Now, starting off in 1550, we obviously have centers of Reformation. And as you can see, we only have 2. We have one Protestant center of Reformation right here in the starting capital of the Protestants, and we have one Reformed one over here. And we also have one in London, in Zurich, and in Stockholm, but I suppressed them by starting my custom nation, by putting my custom nation there. And that, you know, for the Norse religion, that's fine. The Lollards, I actually wanted to put in Oxfordshire, but I made sure to, well, move their starting location over here to London, just so that we could suppress this. And the Waldensians, they are probably the ones that move the furthest from their historical, I guess, start point. I initially wanted to put them into Lyon or into Vaud, but then I decided, you know, we need to suppress this, well, the Center of Reformation here, because otherwise it might convert one of these guys. They're all Christian, they're all in a Christian group, so if they get converted by one of these random centers of Reformation, that would obviously get rid of one religion right off the bat, and I didn't really want that. So yeah, that was one of the reasons here. For the most of the time, oh, the Shia have actually just killed the Menicians here. That's really nice to see. So one nation takes over the other, and then another religion comes in and kills them both. Very cool to see. But yeah, so in general, I have been trying to stay historical when I set up these nations, but in certain instances, I made sure to actually go for balance instead. The one thing that well, that is, how should I phrase this? The one thing that I made sure is that I would actually set up the Sunnis here around Mecca. Now, first of all, it's their holy city, and secondly, I had the Sunni Empire over here in Maghreb the last time. The problem is they would then go ahead and form the Sunni, not the Sunni religion, but they would form the Andalusian nation. And, you know, that's not really a big deal, but it somewhat, obviously, is destroying the immersion on one hand, and also gives them the chance to get different ideas, and that's something I simply did not want to see. So yeah, I decided to put them here in Mecca. Mecca is fine for them, so they should not really be too worried. Now, can we actually check out some more wars? I would really like to see who else is fighting. Those are the great powers. Okay, so no current wars going on right now, that's totally fine. So I guess we could have a look at the great powers. Now, this is also another thing that is helping in giving the Europeans a little bit of a harder start. Because the great powers of the world, the Shia are actually the greatest power right now because they have taken over a bunch of provinces from their neighbors. But usually in the first years here, we had the fetishists and all the other nations from further away, at least not Europe, be the great powers. So they were getting these benefits, and yeah, I mean, that's just a nice boost here in the beginning, I think. As I said, as soon as the game gets into the later stages and more provinces are being colonized, the Europeans will benefit heavily from trade. So yeah, we need to make sure that this does not have too much of an impact in the game here. Okay, and the Shia seem to experience some rebels. Yeah, Massalian rebels. Yes, go and yeah, protect your religion. Now, your religion is still going, so I'm not too worried about them dying off immediately here, but yeah, there's actually, oh wow, there are Manicians and Massalians. Ooh, not sure. I'm not sure if the Shia are actually able to deal with this. In fact, I don't even see an army. I do not see the Shia army. Where's your army? Okay, so the Massalians have already managed to break free from the Manicians. Yeah, so they have 2 provinces, and then they will probably get their the 3rd starting province as well. So it seems like, yeah, this war did not turn out too good for neither the Manicians nor the Shia. That's actually kind of interesting. But yeah, I wonder if there's any other wars going on. We have the Iconoclasts here, we have the Bogomilists, we have the Hellenics, and of course the Orthodox. Very nice. We have the Fraticelli right here, who have the chance to take out Rome. I'm not sure what the Catholics... Oh, they are colonizing. The Catholics are colonizing, but they're colonizing over here. They're going for the trade. Yep, smart Europeans going for the trade. We have the Norse religion and the Suomenusko over here, the Romuva and the Slavic, a bunch of pagans next to the Protestant and the Reformed. And yeah, we have the Lollards. The Lollards, what are they going for? They're going for Bordeaux. I see. Okay. And then we have the Cathars, the Waldensians going after traditional Switzerland. Looking very nice there. And yeah, so the Shia, not really sure how well they're doing. Did they manage to convert anything? No, I don't think they have converted anything just yet. But they did manage to unsiege their provinces. So they might actually be able to build up enough of a military here to defeat their rebels. That would be kind of interesting to see. But has this been converted now? It actually has not been converted. Still Shia. Okay, and they did manage to convert this province here from the Venetians. Okay, well that's very good to see. Now I think we should also check out the New World here, and we already see the Catholics making their way over here. Well, that's certainly a smart move, because that's going to give you a lot of money in terms of trade. Now, the Aztecs, or I guess the Nahuatl religion, as well as the Mayans, they're probably not going to go. They're probably not going to do too well in this campaign, because they usually need to reform in order for their religion to have to benefit from all of their mechanics. The problem is that I wanted to start them off in Western technology and as a theocracy, so therefore they probably won't have the chance to reform their government. And yeah, that will make them a bit weaker, but at the same time it gets rid of the need to reform their government. So they're free to just colonize and use the regular benefits that their religion gives. In fact, what actually is that? National unrest goes down, morale of armies +10, that's actually pretty good, and local missionary strength +2. And what do the Mayans get? Possible advisors and tolerance of the true faith. That's not too bad. That's actually not too bad. You can definitely work with that, I think. Okay. So far we're not seeing any other wars, I don't think. The Manicians actually did manage to break free. Okay. So they're all over the place now. They have province here, province there, and there. They're all cut off. I don't think they're going to do too well in the continuation of this series. yeah, they probably won't do too well. Now, over here we have the Bogomilists taking over the coast, okay. We have the Monophysites, Zoroastrians, we have the Hurufi, which is a Muslim denomination. We have the Monothelites, we have the Paulician religion, we have the Nestorians, very good. We also have the Samarites, the Karites, and the Jews. All of them I tried to put around Jerusalem because I didn't really know another place to stick them. Then we have in Cairo, we have the Druze religion, and in Alexandria I put the Copts. So that was pretty much everyone here. The Sunni I already mentioned. Hellenics in Athens. We have, yeah, Europe I've already gone over. I think we have not checked out Asia yet. So obviously we have the Sikh faith here, the Zunists here, the Jain religion, the the Masalians are over here as well. Then we have the Hindus, the Theravada. We have the Jain over here as well. Okay, that's interesting. The Shia even. A lot of border war I can see, but hopefully that will get fixed. Or that will fix itself as the series goes on. We have the Vajrayani here, the Mahayana, and then we start to get into the territory of the Animists, who are suffering from Sunni zealots. In fact, no, those are the Vajrayani. Okay. Well, as soon as more provinces are being colonized, it's going to be easier to see. I really did not like the change paradox made here. You see the terrain. It might work for regular games, but especially for a game like this, it makes it very difficult to see things. So we have the Confucians here and the Shinto over there, left to their own devices so far. Actually, Tengri zealots in the Tengri nation. Now, I don't think that Tengris have actually converted. I think this is just mainly their it's their syncretic faith. Okay, so if they picked the Vajrayani as their syncretic faith, that's perfectly fine for them. It's going to make it easier for them to, I guess, expand along the way. Very good. Anything else? Anyone I have missed? I don't think so. I think we could also check out the Inti down here. They're going to be, well, benefiting from the gold quite a bit. So will the, the Nahuatl, of course. And the Totemists, they're going to be left to their own devices for a long time, but they are usually a really strong power. If they're not going to be challenged, they are going to just grow powerful from the provinces that they can colonize. So yeah, that's pretty good. Any other wars that we can have a look at right now? No, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to check out the ledger. In fact, no wars. I'm actually kind of surprised by that because I made sure to give each ruler the zealous trait. So we should see religious wars all the time. But yeah, I guess it just takes time. At this time, or this point in the game, it's much easier to just colonize and ignore wars for most of the time and just grow stronger on your own without fighting anyone. But yeah, well, I mean, we'll see. It also obviously depends on how well you manage this colonization game, because you know, some of these religions are doing a good job of consolidating their realms, such as the Nestorians are doing a really good job, and I think the Zikri are doing a good job as well. But the Zunists, like, where are they even going? Who's this? This is the Hindu. The Zunists have, like, they're taking provinces like little islands over here. That's not very effective, because it's going to be very difficult to defend against rebels and against, you know, other nations. If they attack you with a doom stack, then you're just dead, and you can't really defend. So yeah, I don't know if that's gonna work out for them. It might. I have never fully played this campaign. I've only, you know, tested like the first 10 years to see how things are going. I'm just gonna have a quick look at my notes here and see if I have forgotten anything. No, that was pretty much all I wanted to tell you. I'm just interested. I'm just interested to see what goes through the minds of the Fraticelli here. I mean, they have Rome right there. They could change the Eternal City to their own religion, and they even have a claim, but they have not decided to attack yet. I guess they just want to secure the Venetian trade node for now. Okay, now we have a couple more wars. That's actually very interesting. So we have the Confucians fighting against the Animists, and they're winning, and the Ibadis are declaring a war on the Massalians, but they're actually losing. Oh wow, so it seems as though the Massalians have the better navy, which is going to help them out quite a bit, yes. Okay, so now, you know what, I think the Ibadi, they're just not using their army. That's what's up. Well, I'm sure they're going to be able to use it at some point. Okay, are you moving? Really don't know what's up. You declared the war, you should now actually move your troops. well, I guess we'll see what's up with them in the next episode. For now, I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. And if you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. Yeah, I'll hope to see you guys next time.